Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Climb Finance Show. My name is Kian Lynch, and today we are going to be discussing Nvidia Corporation and how its shares have surged over 15% after yesterday's widely anticipated earnings. Going to take you through a few highlights of what is driving this push to the upside as the company's valuation has reached extraordinary heights. I just saw news that the valuation, the market cap of the company has surpassed the economy of Canada. So without further ado, let's dive in a little bit here. So yesterday, Nvidia released their fourth quarter earnings. Some highlights: their record quarterly revenue, a new record of $22 billion, up 22% from the previous quarter and up 265% from the previous year's quarter. Its data center revenue up almost $20 billion, up 400% from a year ago, with the record full year revenue up 126% to $60 billion. So essentially, this is kind of where the crux of the argument stands at the moment. Accelerated computing and generative AI have hit the tipping point. Demand is surging worldwide across companies, industries, and nations, said the founder and CEO of Nvidia. Obviously, Nvidia is responsible for producing the chips that AI models use to run, as well as producing parts for gaming systems, electric vehicles, and all computing products. So taking a quick look at this CNBC article, Nvidia shares jumped 15% on Thursday morning, a day after the company posted its earnings that beat Wall Street estimates. Obviously, as I mentioned, their chips are used to train AI models such as those developed by Microsoft and Meta. And then similarly, its data center business, which includes the company's H100 graphic cards that are used for AI training, posted sales of $18 billion, representing 400% year-on-year growth. The outlook from Nvidia prompted a round of broker upgrades. JP Morgan raised its target from 650 to 850, while Bank of America raised its target from 800 to 925. So if we take a look at the stock chart, looking at the daily chart from the past week, you can see it's currently trading at about 776, a sharp increase from yesterday's close of 673, the 15% increase. If we take a wider point of view, you can see its exponential growth since the past few years. For example, since the pandemic, the company is up 1,500%, just a staggering number. And it just shows the growth of the AI industry, the role that it's playing since, it really became headline in the past year or so, but this is not stopping anytime soon. There were a lot of folks who were almost expecting, the company to miss on its expected earnings this week. We have the stock market, S&P 500 at all-time highs, same situation in Europe. And even though the market is at all-time highs, there's still a sense of pessimism and potential recession as the Federal Reserve still attempts to fight relatively high inflation, even though there are talks of rate cuts on the horizon. But continuing to focus on Nvidia, this staggering number here is forcing analysts to increase their targets as the company is testing a $2 trillion market cap, although they're not quite there yet. But as we mentioned earlier, the next wave of investment into AI will open up a whole new world of applications not possible today, while creating a market valued in the hundreds of billions of dollars every year. The CEO said, "We started the journey with the hyperscale cloud providers and consumer internet companies, and now every industry is on board, from automotive to healthcare to financial services to industrial to telecom, media, and entertainment, with its data center sales really being the blue chip mark of their earnings as they house the group's AI-focused chips." So yes, this tipping point for new computing era is upon us. I just wanted to take a quick look at some of the largest companies by market cap here to give us some perspective. Nvidia still sitting at number 4, with Saudi Aramco's projected estimated market cap, but trading at 780, increase of 15% today, nearly $2 trillion. Larger than Amazon, Alphabet, Meta. But if we take a look at the gain, the single day gain, $250 billion Nvidia added. To put that into perspective, $250 billion is essentially the size of Netflix or L'Oreal that Nvidia has added to its valuation in a single day based off yesterday's earnings. That's how positive it was. That's how impressive it was. And then we can't ignore its impact on the wider market as well. This shows performance of several different sectors. Obviously, the semiconductor market is benefiting the most. Nvidia up 15%, AMD up almost 12% on the day, in addition to Micron being up 5% as well. The technology sector also green today. It seems like everything's doing great, being pulled up by the strength of Nvidia, with Microsoft as an example. Apple financials are positive, banks are doing well, consumers, Amazon, you name it, information technology, computer, obviously. So everything seems to be benefiting off the back of this record-breaking AI-driven rally that, obviously AI is a huge part of the future. People kind of wrote it off as a potential fad, but it has become widely accepted as a new paradigm over the last year. And as I mentioned, the S&P 500 has rallied to record high on the back of the Nvidia earnings. So there's no denying just how important this has become. And there's not much else to say here. Just an unbelievable day for Nvidia, for the broader market, snapping a 3-day losing streak. The stock market has never been more valuable, according to the S&P 500. But as long as this Nvidia-fueled rally continues, we should see global records across stock markets and investments in the technology sector. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you have a great rest of your day.